Welcome back to Primetime Sports Monday. Let's run off with some track and field, as with the regular start of background training for high school track and field now approaching, there are some coaches who feel certain schools will be at a disadvantage due to Covid-19. More in this report. With the high school track and field season usually starting in December, most coaches would begin their background training in August. But things may be different this year because of Covid-19. Even if some teams may be able to start their programs as scheduled, they likely have to do so with reduced numbers due to the protocols which are now in place. For St. Jago High track coach Marlon Gale, there is going to be more responsibility placed on support staff.
As it relates to how they run in groups, the size of the group and the groups and so forth. For track in particular, we wouldn't be using starting blocks and so forth at this point. Some of the things you'd have to take in consideration or ensure that is done is that all athletes have their own battles. We know sometimes it happens that they share. That's why that meeting would be so important, because the nurse and all the necessary action groups would have to take charge of each of those cases.
Since a number of major competitions, including the ISA Boys and Girls Championships, were cancelled, it means some schools would have missed opportunities to compete on the synthetic surface. It's the reason Petersfield High head coach Machel Woolry says schools with a synthetic surface at their disposal will be at an advantage.
Schools of Chevron will again and not over the ones that don't have access to it, and that's a big plus, because schools that like Calabar, KC, have access to Chevron at their school will be a plus on the boys' side versus other schools, but you just have to make it what they have.
And with the Montego Bay Sports Complex track now in disrepair, schools like Petersfield would have had to have competed on grass throughout most of the season, thus resurfacing the debate about the importance of competitions like champs to athletes getting scholarships.
The vast majority are disproportionate when it comes to the scholarship, because coaches are preparing them for champs to compete. Now remember, if your athlete run 90% time meet at grass, what sort of time he or she could achieve running on grass to get a scholarship?
Track and field analyst Hubert Lawrence says the lack of scholarship opportunities for some athletes has now left them in a tough spot.
But they are in a bit of limbo because they've not been able to seal the deal with a performance that, say, the pin release that would get us out, who would say, I like that guy because of his body size and how he carries himself. And I think they're credit to our school program and to growing our program.
It's still unclear how much the upcoming high school track and field season will be affected. But there is a sense that with COVID-19 ushering in a new norm, one should expect the unexpected.